All right, let's take a look through here. So this is the one place that you thought you wouldn't find any perversion or weirdness, and that's Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Of course, we all thought he was a little light in the loafers, aka fruitcake, but much deeper than that. He wouldn't be on TV if he wasn't, in with the in crowd. So here's one of his characters on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood called X the Owl. And here's the big X, and here's the owl. Now, what do we see the owl associated with most recently is the Bohemian Club, which is the whole Bohemian Grove, the whole Naziistic, Saturnian Brotherhood of the Bell type deal. The owl does not represent Moloch. It never did. That's a totally different thing. That's a bull or an ox. The owl has to do with this character over here, Lilith. The woman, this disarray, this chaotic broad, the whole female Saturnian thing. Okay? Here it is on your dollar bill. Upper right-hand corner, front. Here's a little guy. If you take a magnifying glass, you'll see him. There he is. Say hello. There's your X, the owl, right there. Same two guys. But what's more interesting about that is when you look at a dollar bill, see the seal of Saturn? Seal it? It's an electrical field. You see? And there's the little owl sitting there. And then over here, this is the Babylonian, it's Ishtar. This symbol right here, or this is even a better one. They're the same thing. This one right here, that right there, that's an ohm. That's a symbol for, it's an ohm symbol. In electricity, it's resistance. So what do we have here? You have a right side over here, or a right pillar. Over here you have a left one. These are electrical units. And what do you have here? Interesting this bit. Interesting that bit. And unfortunately, when you start studying this stuff, it's at some point, you have to become graphic. Ladies, y'all have one of these. I think you know where it is. Do I have to make it a little bit clearer for you? Okay, I will. Let's just get rid of the face part of it. There you go. Guys, you know what that is, right? We all know what that is. So we all know that this all goes back to sex. It all goes back to sex. And that's why we're all here, trapped, because we're little electrical units. And they want you to have more kids. They did before they come up with all this new shit. So that you could increase the electrical energy, the negative energy that we create, by the shit that they create to make us negative. Okay? This goes back to this is showing you that the system is busted. This is Babylonia. There was a system before this that wasn't broke. So whatever's running this thing revels in the fact that it's in charge of this broken system. See, because this is so fucked up, but the power is supposed to flow through the center, not to the left or to the right. As you can see, the left and the right are ohm. They're both dead ends. They're exactly the same. Okay? So if we're talking about electricity, you wouldn't want to take this path because it's a dead end. You wouldn't want to take this path because it's a dead end. And if we want to get creative, hang on for a second. One second. What we can do is take this church, and we can definitely see that this symbol here is the same symbol as this one right here. These two are exactly the same. The only difference is they don't have a hand reaching up in there. So if we were to cut that out, you've got the same symbol right here as you do on the church. And this symbol right here, right? So let's do this. Select freeform. Let's just do this. I'm always terrible when it comes to this shit like this. And put that right there on top. There you go. And you'll get the same, pretty much the same thing. Do you see what I'm saying? It's showing the same picture over and over again. So you can pretty much look at that yourself and get the gist. This is an ohm symbol. It's the same symbol that you're seeing right here. Okay, it's exactly the same. Here's the bell. Here's the bell on her head. They're equating this to sex. So it's the woman's clitoris. Okay, but it all comes back to the same thing. Sex is the most primitive way of showing you that it's about energy. Or if you want to get occultic about it, well, let's go when they say, oh, it was a magical night, or we made magic, or whatever the fuck people say. You know, they didn't just come up with that. People did that on their, that was shit was given to them to say. So when you understand what you're looking at, and you notice here, you got the right pillar, left pillar, and then you got the bell, and then you got these two clowns sitting here, and then over here you got these two things sitting over here. It's the same picture. Okay? So don't be fooled. Nobody's going to bullshit you. And here's Mr. Rogers with X the owl. Okay? The owl represents this thing. They're all on the same team. It's all the same thing. When you start understanding this place was set up for power, you are a unit of energy. That's what you are. You're a unit of energy. When this system blew, the power dropped. So in order to do that, they had to create more people. They created more people. They created more batteries. They created more batteries. They created more power. But at the same time, they created more draw because you're an electrical unit. You're drawing off the magnetic resonance of this planet. So you are now called a useless consumer because the amount that you're putting back is not superseding the amount that you're taking out. And so it's a balancing act. You have to keep the level at a certain amount. Otherwise, it's not about food and grain and all that. It's about you are an electrical unit. If your electrical system in your body stops, you'll drop dead as a doornail instantly. I know a guy whose daughter it happened. Her electrical system just stopped, and she just died. That's what the Georgia Guidestones are. What they're telling you is basically this. If there were 500 million people, where the planet stands right now, because we're cut off from the original system, 500 million people would balance out the energy system enough where it could sustain life. I don't know, probably indefinitely. Any more than that, you're a draw. There's too many people drawing on the electrical system of this planet. It's like putting too many extension cords into a plug. Sooner or later, it overheats, it melts, and it causes a fire. Okay? Or if you're drawing too much energy, you're sucking the juice out of it, and it means that this place will just come to an end. So who gets to make the call on who stays and who goes? Well, they do that through wars, diseases. This planet, let me put it the best way that I can. It's pain management. That's what planet Earth is. It's pain management. Because you have to be tortured you have to be tortured, and when I say I don't mean needles and pins and hot pokers, I mean you have to have shit in your life to make you depressed to feed this thing, because we are negatively charged here. Okay? Because all that's got to do with the poles and being polarized. That's why Jesus said it's a balancing act. Walk the middle path. Don't get too sucked into this side or this side. You're going to be pulled on either side, but you can't grab onto either side. I know that's hard to conceive, but it's kind of what you got to do. So, I'm just showing you. Even the most innocent of things, Mr. Rogers, is all bullshit. X the owl. It's right there. You can go look it up yourself. What a bunch of fruitcakes.